Lakers sign 3PT sniper after Reddish's move. Hey guys, this is Guilherme, and you won't believe what just happened. The Lakers pulled off a masterstroke. Cam Reddish was moved, and in return, they brought in a true three-point sniper who could be what the team needed to dominate next season. Want to know who this explosive reinforcement is? Stay with me because this news will blow your mind. And let's get to today's news, but first, just make sure you're already subscribed to the channel because the next videos will be a series of content that will help you stay informed about everything related to the Lakers. Turn on the notification bell and select the all option. After that, we'll send you everything breaking that comes out behind the scenes of the Lakers. Lakers fans, we have a goal of 90 likes to hit this video. In the last video, we hit the goal in less than an hour. Prove that you're a die-hard Lakers fan, and leave a like so we can hit this goal soon. Welcome back. We know that the Lakers season has been somewhat dull and boring, with little new additions to the roster. So far, they have only made 2 additions via the NBA draft, the first pick, Dolan Connect, and of course, Bronny James. In addition to these signings, the team re-signed a few key players, such as LeBron, who signed a new max contract, and Max Christie, who signed a 4-year deal. And that's pretty much it. Many people expected the Lakers to make a significant change, either through a trade or a new free agent signing. The expectation was that some roster upgrades would bring more energy to the team. While that doesn't seem very likely right now, there could still be an opportunity in free agency. The market still has a few options available, and while many of the best players have already been signed, some of these options could offer an overall improvement to the team. So, what are we going to do? Let's take a look at some of these possibilities and explore the options that are still on the market. Later on, I'll share my personal suggestion for a player that I think is definitely worth considering right now. Shall we go? Before we go any further, it's important to understand the Lakers' financial situation. They currently have a full payroll of $15 million. Furthermore, all 15 players on the roster are on guaranteed contracts. This means that if the team wants to sign a free agent or even make a trade to bring in a new player, they'll need to clear some cap space. Right now, the Lakers are just $50,000 under the salary cap, which prevents them from signing even a minimum contract to a new player. Therefore, in order to bring in someone new, they would first have to let go of a player while simultaneously reducing their payroll. This move, known as a salary dump, involves trading one player for no other in return, simply to free up resources. There's been a lot of talk about doing this with players like Cam Reddish or perhaps Christian Wood. However, it's still unclear whether the Lakers will make that decision, especially with training camp just a month away. However, it's worth noting that they signed Christian Wood around this time last year, so we can't completely rule it out. If the Lakers decide to go the salary-shedding route, whether it's moving on from Cam Reddish, Christian Wood, or even a younger player like Maxwell Lewis, that could be a viable strategy. Of course, there's no guarantee that it will happen, but it's a possibility they could consider. Should they go that route, there are still a few free agents available who could bolster the team. One name that stands out is Markelle Fultz, a former top 10 overall draft pick who many wonder why he's still without a team. Fultz, who is only 26 years old, put up solid numbers last season in the NBA, averaging 14 points and 5.7 assists per game, while keeping his turnovers to just 2.3 per game. These numbers show that he has the potential to be a solid point guard and a decent scoring option for any team in need of some extra help at the point guard. While he hasn't been a star, his consistency makes him an interesting piece to consider, especially if the Lakers are looking to add more depth to their roster. The big challenge for the Lakers when considering Markelle Fultz is that he simply isn't a good three-point shooter. While he showed potential early in his career, multiple shoulder and upper body injuries have hampered his shooting significantly. Today, he's not the player he once promised to be, especially when it comes to shooting from distance. He can still penetrate and play well in the middle of the floor, but when it comes to shooting from three, the numbers don't lie. He's a career 27.4% three-point shooter. That's simply not enough, especially on a team like the Lakers where he would need to play off the ball a lot. For example, consider D'Angelo Russell, who is the team's primary point guard, but spends a good deal of time playing off the ball, especially in crucial moments alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis. Being a point guard for the Lakers requires that flexibility, and unfortunately Fultz lacks the shot to fill that role effectively. While I'm rooting for Fultz to find a team where he can contribute, I don't think the Lakers are the right fit for him right now. He has value and could still offer something to a team that needs a point guard with his skills, but the Lakers, with their specific needs, may need a player with a different profile. Another option the Lakers could consider is Robert Covington, who would fit well at power forward. Unlike Markelle Fultz, Covington is no longer a young player. He'll be nearly 34 by the time the season starts. However, he brings a solid track record, having built a solid career as a reliable power forward. Over the past 5 years, he has averaged 37% shooting from three-point range, and he is especially effective at shooting from the corner. What really stands out to me about Covington is his defensive ability. While he may not be the best one-on-one defender, he stands out as an excellent help defender. He has a natural talent for deflecting passes and protecting the rim, something that could work very well alongside Anthony Davis. The idea of this defensive duo is really interesting. However, there is one major concern to consider: his recent injuries. While 33 years old is not that advanced in today's NBA, especially with the technological advances in recovery and training, Covington failed to play even 30 games last season. This injury history is concerning, especially when you consider pairing him with players like Anthony Davis and LeBron, who, despite staying healthy last season, are always at risk for further injury. If these key players get hurt, adding a player with a recent injury history could be risky and could be a red flag for the team. I believe that if Robert Covington is healthy, he would be an improvement over Cam Reddish and even Max Christie at this point, considering Christie hasn't had a chance to fully prove himself yet. However, the health risk associated with Covington is something we need to take very seriously. This brings us to a younger, more suitable option that is still available on the market: Cedi Osman, LeBron's former teammate. At this point, he seems like the most logical choice in terms of salary swaps. Osman would represent an upgrade over Cam Reddish. While Christie has a lot of potential, he is still a work in progress. On the other hand, Osman is already a reliable player, someone you can trust to be the 7th or 8th man on the bench, playing around 20 minutes per game and delivering consistent production. Osman is a player who is dedicated on both ends of the floor, capable of playing as a 3D wing and contributing on both defense and offense. Last season, he shot 38.9% from three, attempting 3.1 shots per game, or an average of more than 5 per 36 minutes. This is exactly the type of contribution the Lakers need alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis. In many ways, I think Cedi Osman could fill the role that Taurean Prince played for the Lakers last season. While Prince didn't get the recognition he deserved, he was extremely useful for the team, especially in various lineup combinations. Osman, with his experience and skill, could easily step into that role and bring much-needed consistency to the Lakers' rotation. In my opinion, Taurean Prince's presence was instrumental in the Lakers' emergence as a top-8 team in three-point shooting last season. Now, with his departure, that advantage could be in jeopardy. To try to fill that void, the Lakers are counting on Max Christie, who has yet to prove his worth, and rookie Dolan Connect, who has the potential to be an excellent three-point shooter in the long run, but is a long shot at the moment. Plus, there's the issue of Cam Reddish's inconsistent shooting, which also adds an element of risk. The Lakers seem to be placing a lot of trust in Rui Hachimura to have another excellent season in three-point shooting, as well as in D'Angelo Russell to keep his average above 40%. However, a small drop in performance from either of these players could see the team drop into the bottom half of the league in terms of three-point shooting. This would obviously have a direct impact on the team's offense, floor spacing, and the strategies that Coach J.J. Redick intends to implement. Therefore, the idea of adding someone like Cedi Osman, who brings reliable three-point shooting, especially from the corner, makes perfect sense. It is worth noting that over the last 3 years, Osman has averaged over 43% on three-point shooting from the corner, which could help fill the void left by Prince and bring the stability the team needs to remain competitive. Cedi Osman is the type of player who brings a lot of consistency to the team, especially on offense, averaging 2% shooting from three-point range from the corner throughout his career. He's someone you can trust to keep the offense flowing. In addition to being a reliable shooter, Osman is also a smart and disciplined player who rarely makes mistakes. For perspective, he's only averaged 1 turnover per game in his entire career, playing around 22.7 minutes per game. That's impressive and shows how well he takes care of the ball. He's also capable of contributing as a point guard, averaging 2 assists per game. That may not seem like much, but for someone who plays primarily off the ball, that's a pretty respectable stat. And when needed, Osman can score. He won't be your third or fourth scoring option, but he did have a season where he averaged 13 points per game, and if you look at the numbers per 36 minutes, he's consistently putting up between 15 and 20 points per game. For a player who could potentially be signed to a minimum contract, that's a pretty good deal. Defensively, he may not be a star, but he is not a weak point. Much like we saw with Taurean Prince last season, Osman is someone who works hard and can be above average on defense. For a player who can shoot around 38% from three, 42% specifically from the corner, and who also doesn't hurt on defense, you really can't ask for much more. He would be a solid and reliable addition to any team that needs more stability and reliability, especially on offense. In my opinion, getting Cedi Osman on a minimum contract would be a great deal. Plus, he is a very durable player, which is crucial for the Lakers right now. Over the last 2 seasons, Osman has played between 70 and 75 games, and in his entire NBA career, he has never played fewer than 50 games in a season. This is quite different from other players like Cam Reddish or Robert Covington, who have more problematic injury histories. With Osman, the Lakers would be taking a chance on someone who has a good chance of staying healthy throughout the season. The Lakers desperately need reliability, not only on offense and three-point shooting, but also in the health of their players. Last season, we saw several rotation players get injured, including Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt, Christian Wood, and Gabe Vincent. Having someone like Osman who can provide that consistency and stability would be a huge plus for the team. I think he would be the best option available to the Lakers in free agency right now. Now, whether it's worth getting rid of a current player or making a big trade to get him is hard to say for sure. But if the goal is to improve the roster and add more two-way talent, which the Lakers clearly need, then Cedi Osman should at least be considered. The Lakers have a talented roster, but it's not very balanced. Many players excel on offense or defense, but few are effective in both areas. Anthony Davis is the exception, and he's the team's true two-way talent. So if the Lakers can bring in a player like Osman who is solid on both offense and defense, it could help balance the team out and bolster their chances next season. If the Lakers are looking for a player who can contribute three-point shooting, I think it's more than fair to open up a discussion about it. And honestly, Cedi Osman should be one of the top options in that conversation. He brings the combination of experience and skill that the team needs right now. Now, thinking about who else might fit the bill, if you have any names in mind, I'm curious to know who you think could bolster the Lakers after free agency. I mentioned players like Omer Yurtseven earlier, who could be a good option for a two-way contract. However, if we're talking about a legitimate NBA contract, whether it's partially guaranteed or fully guaranteed, I believe that in the current scenario, Cedi Osman is the most logical choice. He offers what the Lakers need, and for a minimum contract, it makes a lot of sense. Thanks for watching this far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue receiving the next content, access our playlist that will appear on the screen, or in the pinned comment with all the latest news and updates from the Lakers, and stay up to date with the behind-the-scenes, highlights, last-minute controversies, transfers, everything about the Los Angeles Lakers team. Until the next video.